I agree with my colleagues across the aisle that it is essential for policymakers to take seriously how energy policies are going to affect the energy prices that are faced by everyday Americans. But unfortunately, the Energy Poverty Prevention and Accountability Act takes a very narrow view of which energy policies and which impacts we should consider. Among other things, this bill requires the Department of Interior to review energy, quote-unquote, activities to see if these activities would impose disproportionate costs on at-risk communities or increase the likelihood that at-risk communities will experience energy poverty and job losses. On its face, that seems like something we might agree with, but we should be taking a closer look. In this bill, the following activities would require review. 1, a declaration of a moratorium on the leasing of federal land for the drilling, mining, or collection of oil, gas, or coal or related activities. That would require review. The other thing that requires review is any action that prohibits or delays the issuance of new oil and gas lease sales, or the withdrawal of federal lands from forms of entry, appropriation, or disposal under the public land or mining laws. So what we're seeing here is that the drafters of this bill make it very clear which industries they are concerned about. They're requiring that these studies are exclusively for activities that would limit oil and gas production or mining, but they don't really pertain to those that wouldn't. Dr. Cha, do you believe that these narrowly focused studies would provide an accurate assessment of a community's risk of energy insecurity or poverty?
I do not.
I also find it interesting that individual fossil fuel or mining project sponsors can request an energy study to show, and I quote, how the project is likely to alleviate energy poverty in at-risk communities, including by creating jobs, reducing energy prices, or other relevant measures. So an individual fossil fuel or mining project can request a study to validate or boost their own project. Dr. Cha, how could these criteria and this project-by-project approach create a misleading picture of the costs and benefits of extractive projects?
Well, I think first it does do exactly as you said, Representative, which is do a project-by-project and doesn't take into account the cumulative impact of all of these projects on a community. It also only looks at the benefits. It doesn't look at any externalities that are caused, the air pollution that is caused, the poisoning to land, air, and water for those communities. And it really just paints the most positive view of the fossil fuel project and not taking into consideration also the contribution that it could have to the climate crisis, which is one of the greatest threats to vulnerable households.
So this isn't even about a cost-benefit analysis at all, correct?
It's like a benefit analysis.
It's just a benefit analysis. And so a fossil fuel company or project can come in and say, tell me all the good things that can happen by me drilling in someone's backyard, but don't talk about any of the polluting that can happen, any of the dumping that can happen, any of the cancer that can be caused in this area, any of the poisoning that can happen on local constituents. Just tell me about the good things, correct?
Exactly.
Now, in your opinion, would a project sponsor request this kind of study for their project if they thought there was any chance that the study would reflect poorly on what they're proposing?
I can't imagine.
Good afternoon, friends. This is major news. Hundreds of thousands of households are expected to receive their refund checks early. State lawmakers have also confirmed that many will receive an average of $500. This is due to new state tax credits. My dear friends, you may be eligible for this, so please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to hear about all of these details. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Please make sure that you do stay tuned. I will be announcing the winners in a video later today. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer announced that approximately 700,000 Michigan households will receive checks averaging $550 early next year. This is part of an overhaul of Michigan's tax policies approved by Governor Whitmer. The changes include a reduction in taxes on retirement income and an increase in the earned income tax credit from 6% to 30% of the federal credit, benefiting low and moderate wage workers. The new law is estimated to reduce state revenues by about $385 million annually. The Earned Income Tax Credit is a federal program, and basic qualifications, including having worked, earning income under $64,000 annually, and having investment income below $11,000. While the change in the credit was set to begin for the 2022 tax year, it was delayed because a broader tax overhaul did not receive enough votes to take effect early. Starting on February 13th, the Whitmer administration will mail checks to those who qualify for the credit based on their 2022 tax return. The checks will represent the difference between a 6% tax credit originally received and a 30% owed under the new law. Governor Whitmer emphasized that this direct financial assistance will benefit many families, allowing them to cover bills, provide for their families, and purchase school supplies. Eligible Michigan residents, based on past tax return data, can expect to receive an average check of $550. House Speaker Joe Tate praised the action, stating that it prioritizes working-class individuals and families. Eligible residents do not need to submit additional paperwork to receive this check. The State Department of Treasury will process refunds for those who confirmed eligibility through their 2022 tax return. The checks will be mailed on a rolling basis, and it's estimated to take 6 weeks to complete this distribution. Governor Whitmer's office encourages eligible Michigan residents to apply for the expanded tax credit this year, as they may receive both the additional Earned Income Tax Credit check from their 2022 tax return and the full 30% tax credit on their 2023 tax filing. Also, friends, there is some important news from USA Today. They confirmed that there is a popular payment plan offered by America's big box retailers that promises no interest on your purchase if you pay it off in a certain amount of time. It sounds great, at least until you read the fine print. In deferred interest plans, consumer advocates say bad things happen to the customer who fails to pay off the full balance by the time the promotional clock runs out. So even if $1 of debt remains at the end of the promotional period, the deal is off. Suddenly, the consumer owes every penny of the deferred interest, often at a very steep annual rate of 30% or more. It's as if the zero interest promotion never existed. A majority of Americans say deferred interest should be unlawful. Many of the nation's largest and most trusted retailers offer deferred interest, from Amazon to the Home Depot to Best Buy. Deferred interest promotions abound during the holidays. It is a time when desperate consumers try to stretch their budgets beyond their available cash. When deferred interest, the shopper generally puts a large purchase on a store credit card. The buyer may have 6 or 12 months to pay off the balance without owing any of the attendant interest, but the interest accumulates all the same time. About 4/5 of consumers who use deferred interest manage to pay off the debt by the end of the promotional period, thereby avoiding the interest. For subprime borrowers with lower credit scores, the statistics are not so good. Only about 3/5 evade the interest trap. So, dear friends, what are your thoughts on this? Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Well, my greatest and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. I will be announcing a winner in a video later today. So please make sure, friends, that you do stay tuned. Thank you and have a wonderful and blessed Friday.